Good day. Thank you for sharing some time with me in our daily devotion. It is my prayer that God will meet you wherever you are and bless you in the following few moments. Our scripture reading this morning is from the Gospel according to St. Mark, and we read from chapter 1, verses 32 to 35. We read, "That evening after sunset, the people brought to Jesus all the sick and demon-possessed. The whole town gathered at the door, and Jesus healed many who had various diseases. He also drove out many demons, but he would not let the demons speak, because they knew who he was. Very early in the morning, while it was still dark, Jesus got up, left the house, and went off to a solitary place where he prayed." Thus far our reading, and we thank God for his gospel. Friends, that day Jesus attended the service in the synagogue. He read from scriptures and he preached. After the service, he went to the house of Simon Peter, where he healed Simon Peter's sick mother-in-law. And then that evening, after the Sabbath ended at sunset, the people brought to him the sick and the possessed, and he healed them. And then, very early the next morning, he went away to pray alone. The teaching for me from these events are that prayer is first of all not only for the Sabbath day. Jesus was in the synagogue on the Sabbath day, but then the next day, the first day of the week, he went out to pray again. Clearly, prayer is for every day of the week. Also, prayer is not only formal and in public, in the service, in the temple, the synagogue, in our case, the church. Prayer is private communion with God. The very well-known revivalist preacher Spurgeon formulated it as follows, and I quote. He said, "I care not whether you pray in the street, or in the church, or in the barrack room, or in the cathedral, but your heart must speak with God in secret, or you have not prayed." Your heart must speak with God in secret. In the times of the Old Testament and in the New Testament times, the faithful prayed 3 times a day, usually around about 6 a.m., then at noon, and then 6 p.m. Psalm 119 seems to be more or less the equivalent of what Paul writes in the New Testament when Paul says, "Pray without ceasing." In Psalm 119 we read, "7 times a day I praise you for your righteous laws." The founder of Methodism, John Wesley, said, and I quote, "I have so much to do that I spend several hours in prayer before I am able to do it." So consequently, he got up at 4 o'clock in the mornings to spend a few hours in prayer. In addition to this, he read scriptures and he meditated upon it. He fasted 2 days a week from 6 p.m. until 15 hours the next day. He celebrated the Eucharist once a week, and he expected his followers to attend group meetings once a week and to be accountable to the group. Scholars reckon that he traveled around about 250,000 miles, most of it on horseback, in his effort to spread the gospel. Apart from this, he wrote, edited, or abridged some 400 publications. As well as theology, he wrote about music, marriage, medicine, and politics. He usually preached 3 times a day, every day of the week, most of it in open air, as the church refused him permission to use their pulpits. It seems to me that Wesley is proof that the more you pray, the more you get done. Friends, we bring our devotion to a close with the words of hymn 578. This was written by Charles Wesley, and people reckon that he wrote between 6,000 and 8,000 hymns. But let's focus this morning on hymn 578. A charge to keep I have, a God to glorify, a never-dying soul to save and fit it for the sky. To serve the present age, my calling to fulfill. Oh, may all my powers engage to do my Master's will. Arm me with jealous care, as in thy sight to live, and O thy servant, Lord, prepare a strict account to give. Help me to watch and pray, and on thyself rely, assured that if my trust betray, I shall forever die. May God bless you richly.